Hello, it's Irene in here again. So let's continue with our gameplay of the. What was the name of the game? The Willowmist Emporium. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I forgot about it. So a dust mote danced through the beams of light that filtered in through the stained glass window at the back of the room. It left a splash of colorful patterns across the jumbled, mismatched antiques that filled the attic. Old trunks, boxes overflowing with trinkets, well-loved books. Ta-da! The attic. Like I said, Sylvie's been meaning to clean this crap up to sell anyway. And by crap, I mean there's a lot of rubbish here. You might find nothing worth selling, I don't know. There certainly is a lot of stuff. You can say crap. Okay, crap. It's not crap. No, I'm gonna say, okay, crap. Fine, there's a lot of crap in here. But I'm sure there's a lot of treasures hidden amongst the crap. Maybe if you squint hard enough. As you move through the room, your eyes caught something odd. A flash of movement near the shelves. You turn only to find something or someone hanging upside down from the edge of the high shelf. Her bright smile and sparkling eyes pointed directly at you. Ta-da! Ah! You stumbled backwards, barely catching yourself before you tripped over your aunt's collection of used phone books. Before you could even process what was happening, the figure slipped, letting out a startled yelp as she tumbled to the floor in a heap. You winced, waiting for the sound of impact, but nothing came. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait, that didn't even hurt. Why am I saying... Oh, it's ow, ow, sorry. I was dissociating. Why am I saying ow? It's just because, like, see, you read the O as like kind of an A for us. So it's like ah, so it's like ow. We would put it like A and W, because we read the A in another way, like we open the vowel, so the ah, and that's why it was like oh, and then I was like, no, this is ow, ow, ow. Okay. Are you okay? The figure popped up immediately, brushing herself off with a sheepish grin. Never better, another flawless landing by yours truly. You fell? Thank you. I know my graceful performance was one you'll remember forever. Please hold applause. Then you noticed that she was ever so slightly transparent. She struck a dramatic pose, her hands forming a heart over her chest as she flashed you a dazzling grin. Hello, Irina. It's so exciting to finally meet you. You are in the presence of future international superstar and idol, Winnie? She twirled in place, but her motion ended with a slight wobble, making you instinctively reach out as though to catch her, but your hands passed right through her. Winnie? Wait a second, you're the girl who was in my room the other night. Am I saying her name right? Doesn't this remind me of something else that I'm not supposed to be saying in here? I don't know, wait, I don't want to be rude. It's like Winnie, right? Winnie the Pooh is like this too, right? Isn't it? I'm not imagining.
Winnie.
Yeah, Winnie. Okay. It's just that I don't know why, but it's making me think of something related to dick or something. I don't know. Maybe it's in my head. It's probably that. It's morning and it's probably in my head. Wait a second. You are the girl who was in my room the other night. You are a beautiful woman with adoring fans all over the world. The only fan you have is that one. Florian pointed to an old, dusty electric fan that sat in the corner of the room. Boo, you suck. I have loads of fans. Where are they, then? Here and there. You wouldn't know them, since all you do is sit around in the store every day. That's funny coming from you. Overwhelmed, you sat down on the wooden floor, staring towards this insane display. Anyway, you can just go away if you're gonna be such a spoilsport. I want to talk to Irina. Shoo, Stinky. I'm not Stinky. Hi, hey, why are you sitting on the ground? You're gonna get all dusty. She rushed over, then squatted down beside you. I think the dust is the least of my worries right now. Florian, am I going crazy or something? Maybe, but that has nothing to do with her. So, she's real? Unfortunately. Hey, I'm right here, you know? Why didn't you tell me? Look, I figure you'll find out eventually. She's hard to miss. I'm the only one keeping things lively around here. If it were up to Florian, the whole place would be a ghost town. No pun intended. A ghost in the store. Sure, why not? We've got a night. Why not a ghost too? Ow, your thinking face is so cute. Maybe you should be the super famous internet idol. That would make one of you. Anyway, I'm really sorry for scaring you. No, you're not. I'm really sorry that scaring you made you get hurt. I really didn't mean for that to happen. Yeah, but it's the second time that you kind of do this and something happens, right, girl? I just maybe kind of had a bet with Florian over whether or not I could spook you. Now Florian owes me $5. I'm going home. Good luck dealing with that one. That one, I have a name. With that, Florian left, heading back downstairs and out of the store. So anyway, now that he's gone, I have something I want you to help me with. You do? Is it like dealing with something you left behind before you... I want to become the most famous internet idol ever. Oh, right, of course, I should have guessed it. And, if you help me with it, I'll promote the store. It's a win-win for both of us, don't you think? I get all the adoring fans, and you get lots of people visiting your store. Come on, what do you say? Pretty please? Pretty please? It'll be loads of fun, I promise. I can try. I don't know much about idols or becoming famous though. Scratch that, I know nothing about idols or becoming famous. Yay! Yay! You're the best ever. You're pretty much my manager now. Whoa, I don't know about that, but I can try to help you at the very least. Right now? How about later tonight? I'm about to open up the store, but once it's closed, I'm free. Yes! Oh, this is going to be amazing. We'll have to pick outfits, make videos, maybe even do live streams. Oh, would you do my hair too? Oh, I have so many ideas already. Slow down. Maybe we could even make you a theme song. More like yeah. So slow down. Let's just take it slow and see how we go, alright? I mean, at the end of the day, she will probably be tired too, so let's not be so excited about things. And she's a ghost. Is she going to even appear? Right? Because that's like the first and the most important factor in here. Slow, right? I'm great at slow. You know what? I don't think so. Which name do you think is better? Winnie the Super Amazing Cool Idol or Show-Stopping Winning? Maybe we'll workshop the name a little. By the way, Winnie, why didn't you introduce yourself sooner? I don't bite. Well, not unless you ask nicely anyway. Oh, Florian told me I shouldn't talk to you. Huh? Does he really hate me that much? No, Florian doesn't hate anyone. He's a big softie under all that emo-ish blandness. He said you were from out of town and you might not be into the whole, ghost thing. He thought it might be a better idea to wait a little and see what you thought of the town first. What? Is the whole town hiding a bunch of ghosts I don't know about? Maybe? I've never met another ghost. Even thinking about meeting a ghost gives me the shivers. Yeah, but you are a ghost yourself. You're afraid of ghosts? Well, yeah, who wouldn't be? And that doesn't seem at all funny to you? What do you mean? And don't worry about it. You stood up from the ground, then dusted off your clothes. It really was dusty down there. I better get to work, so do you just hang out around in here? I go wherever the fun is. They'll be all over the place. Now that we know each other, yippee! That sounds dangerous. Okay, I'll let you get to work for now, but tonight you are all mine, okay? Don't forget, we're gonna make magic happen. But didn't we have like something planned for tonight with Emmett? I think we did, didn't we? I don't know. Got it, tonight, magic, sure, I'm all yours. Why do I have this sensation that we are forgetting something? They'll call me Irina the Wizard with all the magic I'm about to make happen. Later, that is, now I have to be Irina the shopkeeper. Lady Winona, it is good to see you fine and well. Lucy. Winnie charged forward and jumped as if to hug Lucille, and went straight through her. One day it will work. Is it the thought that counts? It's the thought that counts. I will prepare my stance for the day it comes. That's the spirit. Was that a pun intended? That's my secret. I am pleased to see you have become acquainted with each other. The store was far too quiet without Lady Winona around. Ow, you're making me blush. I'm only speaking the truth. Well, I think you are trying to make me turn red. You're so charming, Lucy. Honesty is not charm, Lady Winona. It is simply the way of a knight. Well, I think you are charming and noble and strong. And are you trying to make Lucille join your idol group or something? I've never heard so many compliments in one breath. Maybe. Just imagine a knight idol. Have you ever heard of something so cute? I fear my talents do not extend to performance arts. And cute? I am not. Boo. I think you're plenty cute. Don't you think so, Irina? Yeah, I like her. She has ways of like an old-fashioned person because, she has her way of thinking since she comes from another time. I think she's really cute. I still don't know much about her, and although I love the troublemakers, I still don't know how I'm going to deal with her. It's very early for me. So you are both cute. I'm more into the guys. You're both cute. Honestly, we might end up with a queue of people outside today just to see the two of you. Because I'm straight, most of the time I end up pick up the guys. But let me tell you something. there are moments where I end up picking up the girls because there is like that usually happens when I see that there is no guy in there that I like. Imagine, I don't like any of the guys, but I like the girl, and then I end up picking up the girl. For instance, Arcade Spirits, it was like one of those where I was like, none of the guys was like really my thing. Okay, they were not my thing. And there was like this mechanic girl, whatever, and I was like, oh, she's a lot more my thing, and I picked her, you know. So yeah, sometimes I end up picking the girls, but it's more like there was not a single guy in here that actually got into me. So yeah, I ended up, and if I found like one of the girls were like totally my type, I'll be like, yeah. A whole line of adoring fans, yay. Lucille nodded seriously. If that is the case, then I shall remain on a high alert. Ah, Lucille. With increased popularity comes increased risk. Should a crowd gather at our doors, I will ensure no trouble befalls you or Lady Winona. That's appreciated, but I'm sure not necessary. Oh, Lucille, you should totally be my bodyguard when I go viral. Every idol needs a super cool knight watching their back. If it is a matter of security, I will, of course, fulfill my duty. Do you mean an actual bodyguard or a part of your pact? Of your act, sorry. Well, picture it. The amazing idol Winnie and her gallant guardian, the unbreakable Dame Lucille del Rosario of the Order of the Crown. That title keeps getting longer and longer. It seems like the Japanese titles for everything. That's just, sometimes it goes crazy. But that's because Japanese do that because they like to have like a shorter version of the thing, so they put titles that like they go beyond. But then it's because they arrange a way of like having like a short version of it, and they kind of like to do that. It makes it feel cute too, you know, so they like that. Good branding is key, don't you think? If my presence lends credibility to your efforts, I shall assist in what way I can. However, should any real danger arise, I will take my duty most seriously. I would not let harm befall either of you. You smiled, shaking your head as Winnie practically sparkled with joy. All right, let's focus on opening the store first. If a horde of admirers show up, I trust Lucille to keep us all safe. You have my word. Oh, I'll handle the fence. This is so going to be our big break. I'm not sure ghost idols to come with fans, but that's alright. Time to get to it. Okay, so we only have 2 things, but we have 3. Okay. Attic unlocked. Sort through storage. I would love to clean, but I don't see like. Yeah, sure. Usually like more the floor. The floor, it's good that you at least do it every day. But I don't see a reason to be like cleaning, like really cleaning in a deep level every day. So I would say mend the counter and sort through the storage during the afternoon. Can't you check out the back? I'm really sorry, sir, but we don't stock anything that isn't unique. There's probably a store around town that has. There isn't. This is the last place I've got left to check. You really don't have it? I might have an old flip phone or something upstairs, but new phone models? No, I'm afraid not. This is ridiculous. How do you not stock phones? What is this? The Stone Age? This isn't an antique store. God, what did I do to deserve this? Yeah, like, you do get a lot of this when dealing with customers, asking things that it's like something else. And it's just not, it's not even just when you are dealing with them in a direct way, because I did it through sales, but I also did it through marketing, managing like the social media for some clients that we had. And like, people ask for things and talk about things that you are honestly like, it's out of this world. Sometimes dealing with people, it's something out of this world. Once again, this is an antique store. We are not a regular store, and we don't carry new products. Typical. These small towns and their old people's shops can't even get a proper phone here. At that moment, you heard the sound of metal grating against metal. And in the blink of an eye, a silver sword was placed between you and the customer. Good sir, you will respect the master of this establishment, or you will leave. Hey, what? Where you're waving that thing, woman? It's a sword, not a toy. This blade was forged in the fires of war. I am well aware that it is no toy. Now you may either apologize or you may leave. Fine, sorry, Jesus. He grumbled and turned on his heel, leaving the shop with all the haste of a man threatening with a real sword. When I was in the US, I had a lot of people telling me to actually not use the Jesus word, but more like jeez, because you have like a lot of religious people in there that do take this like in a really bad way. They do not like to hear people like swearing but saying Jesus. Yeah. So I had like a ton of people in there like telling me like, oh, do not use it because it can be offensive to like those more religious type of people. Thanks, Lucille. It is my pleasure. Should you require aid, you need only ask, Irina. She gave a smile and seated her sword with ease. I was hoping he'll get the hint without having a sword pointed at him. Oh well. Some people require a firmer hand to understand the importance of manners. Is there usually many customers like that? Nay, the majority are very cautious and polite. Lady Sylvia would say that a great deal of trouble came from passing tourists. However, they are few and far between. Tourists, huh? He didn't seem to be passing through. The inhabitants of this town are a good sort and would never speak ill of the store. Everyone likes Aunt Sylvie, huh? Indeed, she's the best of us, and then some. Hey, Lucille, thank you, really. I know it's your job, but my sword is yours, your enemies are mine. If there is but one thing you can depend on in this life, it is that. She bowed her head and left to continue her patrol. Oh, we got 42 XP. Funny. Okay, so did the price change? We could do something in here, yeah, sure. We could put it like at 10. Oh, how did I do this? Oh my god, I don't know. Here? No, not that. It's like too much. Like 10. And that's it, right? You get seated behind the counter, ready for today's customers. The bell chimes and a customer comes inside. Welcome. The howl plate reminds me of my mom's laugh, but quieter. I think my mom's hands will be happy holding this. Okay. I thought she didn't have money, but sure. See you next time. The customer leaves the store. You saw one customer today, but no one else is coming now. Great. What a great place to work, honestly. Just have like one customer per day. Isn't that amazing? I mean, we're not making enough money. That's it, but we have like one customer. You begin searching through your aunt's collection. Not to be mistaken by a bracelet. Gold plate bracelet, okay. It's a rarity. But quality is poor. Okay. We only found this, nothing else. Oh my god. You stretch it, hearing a pop from a joint somewhere you didn't want to think about too much as someone entering through the front door. What are you doing here? Don't tell me I have to put you in timeout. Timeout? How old do you think I am? I left something here this morning. I was just coming to pick it up. What do you mean, It's not like I came back because I missed you or anything. Fine, I guess that's a sufficient reason for you to be back, but you better go home straight away. God, you're worse than my mother. I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Actually, do you live far away? Why? I was just wondering. Not really, 10 minutes or so from here. You check it back and forth and couldn't see Winnie anywhere in the room. Can we talk? I thought you wanted me to leave. Just for a minute. Guess it's inevitable, sure. What is it? There's a real life ghost living in the store, and Lucille claims to be a time traveler, and I believe her for some reason. Yep. Just yep. I don't know what you want me to say. Yes, Winnie's a ghost, and yes, Lucille is a knight. How? Why? What's going on here? Did my aunt know? Of course she did. She knows everything that goes in this town. That's just the kind of woman she is. Really, this whole antique store rubbish is mostly a front. A front for what? You're not going to tell me this is something illegal, are you? I really don't want to go to prison if this is a setup. What? No. Willowmist is full of people who don't fit in, people who are running away from something or don't blend into a normal society. Sylvie helps them. The town depends on her. She's a problem solver, I guess. She's the one that makes this town a place where people can exist without having to explain themselves. So the people in town, they are all like Winnie and Lucille? Not all of them, but a lot, yeah. But everyone knows? I guess. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some don't want to know. Not everyone in Willowmist is like that, but they get it in their own way. I don't know. It's more like people just don't ask. And you're just okay with that. Why wouldn't I be? It's a lot to take in. You get used to it. You sighed, running a hand through your hair. Or don't. Just let things happen. You're here for what? 3 months? You'll be fine. You exhale it deeply before leveling a look at Florian. Okay, so what about you? What about me? Well, you said a lot of people here don't fit in. What's your deal then? A bit of silence. Florian's expression didn't change, but there was something just a little too measured about it now. I just work here. You just work here. Yep. No tragic backstory, no running from the past, no big secret. Nope. Florian? Irina? Fine, be mysterious, but I'm on to you. There's nothing to be mysterious about. I just happen to be born here. Anyway, You told me to leave, so I'm leaving. Wait. I meant to do what she does? How would I know? Sylvie doesn't tell me shit. I can hardly help myself, let alone an entire town of people. You don't need to help everyone. That's kind of the whole point, though, isn't it? My aunt did. Florian sighed, shifting his weight slightly as he rubbed the back of his neck. Yeah, well, you are not her. Wow, thanks. That's not what I meant. For a second he hesitated, his fingers tightening slightly against his sleeve. Then in a quieter voice he spoke again. Look, even if you only help one person, it's worth it. His tone was uncharacteristically earnest. No sarcasm, no sighing frustration, just something quiet and certain. You blinked at him, momentarily taken aback. That's surprisingly optimistic coming from you. He shoved his hands into his pockets, glancing away as if embarrassed by his own sincerity. Now, everything has to be a grand gesture. Not everything has to fix something. Sometimes just being there, just doing one good thing, is enough. Sounds like something my aunt would say. Maybe it was. Did you believe her? Maybe. You smile, exhaling softly before shaking your head. You are a weird guy, Florian. Yeah, well, you work here now, so you are one of us. Now I'm really going. Night. Night, Florian. Let me walk you out. The two of you found your way downstairs, wood crowning beneath your feet. Oh, coming out of your room together at night, how scandalous. Shut up, I'm leaving. Have a nice night, Flo. Not my name. The door shut soundlessly behind him as he left. Such a spoil sport. Well, whatever. We've got the whole place to ourselves now. Should we throw a party or something? A party in an antique store does sound pretty cool. I'll put you in charge of planning that, hey? Do you think we can get a disco ball in here? Well, my aunt probably has one stashed away somewhere, knowing her. Disco balls and parties can come later, though. Didn't you want my help with something? Oh, right. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Come on. She went to grab you by the hand, but her fingers went straight through yours. It did leave you with a cold, numb feeling in your hand, though, which you found pretty cool. Let's go. She charged upstairs and you trailed behind, ready for a troublesome night ahead of you. Your place is so cool. Sylvie didn't like me coming up here, you know. This is my first chance to have a proper look around. Why not? What did you do? Well, who said I did anything? Well, did you? I think it's 'cause I'll stand at the end of her bed in the middle of the night, kind of spook at her a little. Okay, I can now see why she wouldn't like that. I was just messing around. I won't do that to you, though, I promise. I'll pinky promise, but you know. She wiggled her semi-translucent pinky finger in front of your face. Anyway, do you have a computer? I do. I brought my laptop with me, luckily. I don't know what I'll do without it. Yes, finally! You sat down at your desk, swinging around in the chair to log in. What's step one of becoming an idol, then? Getting famous, I guess. Selling out a giant arena for my concert. I was going to say something else. Okay, I don't know much about idols, but I think there's some steps before that. Did you decide on a name? At least you had a few ideas earlier, but... Well, I have been thinking about it. We need a super cool idol. Denied? What? I thought that was a good one. How about something more like something that highlights your draw? Ghost Winnie. With a star in the middle, that might be cute. Oh, mysterious, intriguing, cute. And accurate to boot. Hopefully people don't question the fact you are slightly transparent too much. That could cause us some trouble. Okay. How about this? She got into position, arms wide, a huge grin on her face. Hello, my little ghostlings. Ghost Winnie is here. She pulled another pose, making a star symbol with her hands out in front of her. How was that? I mean, that's what they do, right? I do not relate to idols in any way, so for me it's like, sure, I don't, yeah, it's perfect. Sure, sweetie. Wow, you've already got that down. Really, does it look cool, mysterious? Yep, cool and mysterious with a dash of cute for good measure. Yay! Okay, Ghost Winnie, we've got a name down. I suppose the next thing to do is make social media accounts so you actually have somewhere to be an idol. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch too. Do you want to make videos? Of course. Got it. I'll start setting those up. Do you have an email address already? Maybe we should probably just make a new one. You maybe have an email? I can't really remember. Oh, alright, new email too. You tapped away on your keyboard, getting to work. So, Winnie, can I ask you something? I'm an open book. Well, you are a ghost. That's not a question, silly. I wasn't done yet. Are you dead? Oh, I'm a scary dead person. I don't know, to be honest. I don't have any memories of my life. Probably. Ghosts are usually dead, right? You lost your memories. I guess so. Or maybe I didn't have any in the first place. Who knows? She's very nonchalant about it. And that doesn't bother you? Why would it? I'm all for the here and now. I guess that's a good way to live. You know what I mean. What's with the superstar idol thing then? I thought it was some kind of unfulfilled dream of yours. Maybe it was. Honestly, I just felt like this store was so boring sometimes, so I was brainstorming ways I could help liven the place up, and bam! I saw this old magazine with a super cool idol on the front cover. Sylvie Wilvie thought it'll be a good idea for me to pursue, but she didn't have a computer. I'm so glad you're here now. It's original at the very least. Can say I know many antique stores ghost idols. I'll have the market corner before you know it. But really, one magazine cover is all it took? Inspiration strikes quickly, But maybe I was looking for my thing. Ah, I understand now. I think I'm still looking. Isn't selling antiques your thing? And maybe it will be, we'll see. So the idol thing is only recent. I've had the idea for a couple of weeks now. I've been brainstorming all kinds of things while waiting for you. Waiting for me. Sylvie said you were coming. She said you'll be able to help. So she signed me up for this ahead of time. Well, I don't really mind. Anyway, I was born to be a star. I think I was probably a pop sensation in my past life, or maybe a famous actor, or both. You chuckled, shaking your head as you turned away from your laptop. Alright, well, your social media is ready. You are officially one step closer to world domination. This is so exciting. What's next? What's next? Maybe a profile picture? I can take a photo of you. Wait, do you come up in photos? Of course I do. I'm not a vampire, silly. Thank God. Imagine trying to figure out how to market an invisible person online. You lifted your phone up, angling it towards Winnie, who instantly struck a dramatic pose, tilting her head to the side with an exaggerated wink. Jeez. You snapped the photo, checking the screen. Sure enough, she was there, only ever so slightly transparent. If you didn't know she was a ghost, you likely wouldn't have guessed it from this picture. Let me see. You turned the phone screen around her, and she practically bounced up and down in place. So cute. Irina, you're such a good photographer. Well, I think anyone could do this much, but I'm not one to turn down praise. Yeah, I kind of don't want to go into her, as I said. And to be honest, I really wanted to go after Emmett, but I'm not finding him all the time, so I also don't mind to go after Florian. I actually did some photography classes when I was younger. I kind of forgot. Oh, really? You're so talented. Hardly. I drift away from it pretty quickly. Same as I drift away from knitting, journaling, cooking, art. Oh, why? I didn't enjoy them? I'm not sure. It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it, really. I think I've just spent my life chasing for something, but never found it. I pick things up, then put them down, waiting for something to just click. Well, I think you're really good at everything. I saw you handle all those customers earlier, and now you are making me into a superstar like it's nothing. Yeah, sometimes it's like you start understanding that I kind of know what she's talking about. And you start understanding that most of the things that you like are related not to the hobby in itself, but into the thing. Imagine. You really love to, I don't know, go out and see scenarios and like take photos, and when you see maybe what you need is something that is compatible with design, for instance, okay, like with design, or I don't know, or architecture, or like something more related to that. And if you like you start seeing, oh, but I really like knitting and sewing and like things like that. Maybe what you need, it doesn't have to be knitting or sewing. Maybe what you are trying to do in your life is something that you do more with your hands and is more related to a repetitive and mechanical thing, a job that is more related to that than actually just doing the knitting or the sewing. Sometimes it's like it's what is related to it. It doesn't have to be that thing. And that's how you start understanding, maybe what I like to do is something that is related to this. And I say this because I've passed by this too, and I started understanding that. I think I'm falling in love. You're funny, Winnie. Thank you. Should I add comedian to my title? Well, why not? Superstar idol and comedian. For now, let's upload your new profile picture there. Looking good, Winnie. Now we just need content. You said you wanted to do videos. Yep, I should probably, figure out what kind of idol I am. Am I the cool, mysterious type or the super high energy, cheerful kind? I mean, that seems pretty obvious to me, but more importantly, who do you want to be? Winnie paused for a second at that. It was brief, so brief that you might have missed it if you weren't paying attention. That's a good question, huh? Guess we'll just find out along the way. That's what makes it fun. Well, you quite literally have all the time in the world to work it out. There's no rush. Take some time thinking about what you want your first post to be too. Right, I should do some brainstorming. I got it. You brainstormed for like 3 seconds? What can I say? I'm obviously just a natural. So here's the idea. I'll pretend like I'm putting on a show, and you can pretend to be in the crowd recording right here in the store. If we post it online, it'll totally go viral. Oh, like a femcan. Yeah, like that. You don't know what a femcan is, do you? Maybe it's lost with the rest of my memories? It's just a fan recording of a performance. They are pretty popular online. Alright, I can do that. What are you actually going to, do though? It's a surprise. Are you excited? I don't think I could get any more excited if I tried. Come on, let's go do it then. Isn't it a little dark for something like this? Concerts are usually dark, I think. Don't worry, it's going to add to the atmosphere. Just use your phone torch or something. Torch. With that, she stepped up onto the counter, not paying any mind to any of the items there. Yeah. Which was fine, really, considering she just passed straight through them. Ready, I'll start recording. Mic check, mic check. You don't even have a mic. I'm practicing. Hello, Willowmist, I'm Winnie. No, that's not right. Start again. Hello, my little ghostlings. Ghost Winnie is here, your favorite spirit from beyond the grave. Ooh. Winnie trailed around, throwing her arms out like she was greeting an arena of adoring fans. Ooh, Winnie, we love you. Today, I'll be singing my debut single, Fall Right Into Place. Winnie took a deep breath, then just like that, her usual energy faded, her playful grin softened into something more thoughtful, more wistful. Then she began to sing. From the songbirds in the treetops to the valleys down below, every living creature has beauty to show. Oh, she's singing. Okay. She sang with all the passion of a girl with no place to call home. Her voice was light, sweet, airy, but there was deep beneath it, a kind of a yearning woven between the notes. It would be like cool if they had put it like, that symbol of the music of like the lyric, whatever. I don't know how you call it. Yeah, because I was like, is this going to be her singing or is this just a phrase that I need to read? The creaking of the floorboards play a timeless melody. I wonder about the future that is waiting for me. It doesn't matter, it's just like, she held one hand out as if she were reaching for something or someone just out of grasp. Her voice carried through the still air, filling the empty space. Let's cheer. Woo, Winnie, you're amazing! You got this! A spark of surprise lit up Winnie's face before shifting into pure, radiant delight. Thank you, I dedicate this next verse to my #1 fan. I can't shake off this feeling of sweet mystery. Like all snowy mountain tops, we're made alive for me. Every bone in my being is begging to stay. Like all my broken puzzle pieces fall right into place. As she hits her final notes, Winnie's eyes fluttered shut as she left the sound settle into the stillness of the room. Actually, my singing voice is actually not that. I'm doing a falsetto in here, okay? Because I'm in here we say that I'm a contra alto. We call it contra alto, but in there I think you call it alto. I'm an alto singer. So this is not my voice singing, okay? And it sounded like pretty bad. Then she cracked one eye open, grinning. So, how was it? You quickly stopped the recording. Hopefully, I got it all. I kind of forgot halfway through. That's why we were doing this. That was beautiful, Winnie. Yay, yippee! Where did that song come from? My mouth? Okay, comedian, I know that much. Did you write it? I think so. I hope so. It's when I first got here, it was in my head, maybe it's a memory, I'm not sure. But it's pretty, right? It's gorgeous, you're an amazing singer. Well, I wouldn't be a very good idol if I couldn't sing. That's true, I just didn't realize you were that good. You leaned back against the counter, arms crossed, as Winnie descended to stand beside you. A memory, huh? Music is a pretty powerful thing. It's a pretty powerful thing. I wonder if it means something. Huh? That I've always been destined to be famous? Maybe. It's kind of funny, huh? What is? That I have no clue who I am, but I remember a song. Well, maybe it was important to you, something you held on to, even after everything else faded away, like a little keepsake. Winnie hummed, rocking back and forth on her heels, or well, floating in place as she had heels to rock on. For once, she didn't immediately follow up with a joke, she just thought about it, hands clasped behind her back. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, anything's possible, right? It's a little bittersweet. No, it's all sweet. Don't worry about that sad stuff, Irene. I don't care if I remember or not. All that matters is now I'm going to be a superstar. How did the recording turn out? Oh, I think it's good. I'll have to clean it up a little before it's ready to post, though I can add some special effects too. Strobe lights, fireworks, a backing track. Okay, temper your expectations a little there, I'm no professional. Winnie grinned. Sorry, I need some water. Nearly from ear to ear, and you were sure it was contagious as you found yourself smiling back. A yawn escaped your lips inadvertently. Tired? All this fame and stuff really wears you out, huh? It's been a long day. You must be more exhausted than me. Not at all. I could sing all night. You might need to come up with some more songs first, so you don't get tired? Nope. I can't even remember what sleep feels like. Man, that would be wonderful. It's pretty cool, huh? Another perk of being a ghost. Doesn't it get lonely? Huh? Oh, sorry, it kind of slipped out. I just mean, while everyone else is sleeping, it must be very quiet around the store. If anything, it's just super boring. Luckily, Florian is usually around, but not tonight. Huh, boo. I'll keep you company if I didn't need to be up first thing in the morning. It's okay, Irina. I'll keep practicing for my big debut. I won't be bored tonight. As your client slash business partner slash soon to be worldwide idol slash friend, I officially declare that your shift is over. Why, thank you, my esteemed Winnie. Oh, I like how that sounds. If we're not careful, your idol thing will turn into a cult thing, which honestly I'm down for, but maybe we hold off for now. I'll get some sleep then. Good night, superstar. Night, Irina. Rest up. Let me know when you finish editing my debut recording too, alright? You got it. Oh, by the way, thanks for helping me get your letter down from the top of my dresser last night. Huh? Would you? I mean, sure, night, Irina. And just like that, Winnie floated up and through the ceiling. Okay, more rank up. Oh, this one I need to click. A ghost idol, what a weird life I'm living. Well, at least I won't get bored out here. With that, you headed back upstairs. You stepped into your room, then promptly flopped down on the couch, exhaustion overtaking you. What a day. Between dealing with customers, meeting and helping Winnie with her idol stuff, and everything with Florian, you were left with little energy for yourself. You let your head come to rest on the back of the chair and closed your eyes. Just for a moment, you told yourself you just wanted to rest your eyes. Just a minute, then I'll get dinner and go to bed. And just like that, you fell into a light sleep. Upstairs, wake up, follow rustling leaves' destiny, find it. Your eyes shot open as soft, insistent whispers rippled through your mind. The first thing you noticed was a cool draft brushing against your skin. And in the dim light of your room, you saw something strange, a scattering of autumn leaves swirling in a gentle motion around and around, as if the world's gentlest tornado was inside your room, and you were in the center of it. What the hell, Winnie, is that you? No reply came. You felt an inexplicable pull like a magnetic draw urging you to stand. You got to your feet and the swirling leaves followed you as if you were commanding them. Which you weren't, as far as you were aware. You looked out the window, but the wind didn't seem to be coming from there. Winnie, is this some kind of a practical joke? If it is, you got me. That pull continued, almost as if dragging you to the door. Swallowing hard, you followed it out of your door and upstairs. You had expected to see Winnie when you entered the room, but you found the attic empty. The pull continued, dragging you further into the room relentlessly. Dust motes danced in the beam of moonlight that streamed in through the stained glass window as you made your way to one of the dressers, pushing aside boxes in your path. The closer you got, the more the temperature seemed to drop and the leaves twirling around you began to glow. Cautiously, you reached out and brushed your fingers against the smooth wood of the dresser, your heart pounding. It was icy to the touch, much colder than you would have expected. With a deep breath, you pulled open the drawer and found a book. It looked old, leather-bound, with no writing on the front or spine that you could see. Carefully, steadily, you reached in and took it from its place in the drawer, blowing a layer of dust off the surface. As soon as you made contact with it, the leaves swirling around you exploded into gold dust, shimmering through the air before coming to rest on the wooden floor. Gold dust. The temperature of the room returned to normal and you were left once again exhausted. Strange book in hand, you made your way back to your bedroom. You set down the book on the small dining table in the kitchen and changed into your pajamas. Whatever strange thing was going on right now, it could certainly wait until morning. You crawled into bed, heart still racing, and closed your eyes. Despite the adrenaline running in your veins, weariness overtook you, and soon enough you fell back into a much deeper sleep. Very well, maybe I should do another... where was it? It was somewhere in here, right? Let's do another save. The sing-songy chirping of a group of small bluebirds on the windowsill woke you from your sleep. You sat up and yawned, stretching out your shoulders with a pop. I'm sure that's not meant to pop. Rubbing your bleary eyes, memories of last night suddenly resurfaced, Filled with alarm, you search out the book you found and notice that there was nothing on your table anymore. Was that all a dream? God, I need to stop watching TV or something. Huh? Abruptly, a book fell onto your lap as if someone had dropped it, a very familiar leather-bound book. Does this place have a second ghost or something? Absent-mindedly, you began to flick through the pages, but instead of being greeted with a journal like you expected, you found strange, intricate drawings, almost like sigils. It looked old but incredibly well kept, and you couldn't read a word of it. You flicked to the front, and in the bottom corner of the page was a single word, or in this case, a name. Marigold. Is this Aunt Sylvie's? Just what is going on around here? Ghosts and nights, sure, but people around here are different. Does that mean she was too? It did make sense to you, kind of. Your aunt was a little strange in a curious way. Okay, Mr. Book, I'm going to leave you here, but I'll come back to you later tonight, I promise. There's no need to follow me around the store, alright? I've got work to do, but trust me, you and I have a date tonight, alright? Don't go anywhere. You set the leather-bound book carefully on your desk, taking note of exactly where you leave it. All you wanted to do at that moment was find answers, but instead you turned to your door. There was work to be done. Inventory needed sorting, bills to be paid, and customers waiting to come spend their hard-earned money. And talk to you, apparently, since that's what your aunt did, help it people. So I don't have a lot of things, but man, I should open though, right? I need to make money. I was like thinking maybe I'll just put these two, but I need to make money. I don't know, maybe I should clean. Let's do it tomorrow. Okay. You're sitting behind the counter when the door opens and a short figure steps in, framed by the sun. Again? Girl, do you have money? Hi, I'm glad your store is still here. It would have been concerning if it wasn't. Yes, exactly, so I'm very happy. Did your mom like her birthday present? Yeah, this girl, she's probably something too. Remember that I said like, oh, this girl, she's kind of awkward. She's probably something of fantasy kind of like creature. I don't know. She smiled all day and night, and she's a good smiler. She's a good smiler. I'm so glad to hear it. Can I help you with anything else today? You're back so soon. I didn't realize kids your age were so into antiques. The shop smells fun, so I wanted to come back. Maybe I'll find something else to make Mom smile. Today's always good when she smiles. She drifted across the floor with that same light, carefully gait, as if she barely needed to step on the ground to move. It was strange but interesting. Her path curved towards a tall antique mirror leaning against a shelf. The glass was a little fogged at the edges, silvery where the silvering had flickered. It's a pretty mirror, isn't it? But unfortunately, it's not for sale. I might be able to find you something similar, though. When you look at yourself, how do you know it's really you? Huh? That's a pretty big question for an otherwise quiet day. I like big questions. They fit more wonder inside. And how do you know? I mean, you kind of grow up, for us at least. I'm not talking about like people that didn't have mirrors in the really, really old times. But for us, it's kind of like you get used to seeing yourself in the mirror, right? So it's just, you look at yourself and like, oh, it's still me. You know, it's like, it's still me. But for instance, when sometimes you do like certain changes in your visual, that kind of makes you look in the mirror and you're like, is it still me? I remember when I was taking care of my teeth, And when I took out the I don't know how you call them, those things, those dental things that you put, to put them all in the right place. I remember looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, feeling like it was me, but there was something weird with my face, because it was my teeth that was completely, it was like, it wasn't just not my teeth that were different, but something like in my face that was kind of different too. So yeah, sometimes you kind of like get a weird feeling about yourself when you radically change something. You step closer in the mirror, your reflection lined up side by side. For a heartbeat, something odd flickered. Vivi's mismatched eyes swapped left for right. And then the glass looked perfectly normal. You blinked once, twice, confused. Well, I know it's me because I remember being me. Yeah, it's more like that. It's more like you kind of remember you being yourself. And that's why I was saying, when something drastically changes with you, suddenly you look at yourself and you're like, you feel a bit entrenched about it. I don't know how to put it. I suppose I know it's me because I remember being me. I've had this face forever. How could I be anyone but me? But history is heavy and memories can change. Do you think they could ever take a person away from their reflection? Sometimes I feel like I don't deserve my reflection. Like I'm wearing something very beautiful that belongs to someone else. I don't know, sweetie, maybe you are, because you are probably like some kind of like a fantasy creature. We don't know. And if I breathe too loudly, it might notice and ask for it back. But I want to keep it. She pressed her fingertips almost but not quite against the glass, then dropped her hands abruptly and turned back to you. Maybe you can share your reflection then, that's not so bad. Sharing is nice, thank you for answering. Of course. Can I stay here a while longer, just a little, until my mom is done shopping? Sure, take as much time as you need. By the way, shouldn't you be at school? Not today, I only go to school on the days I can remember to. Doesn't your mom mind? Mom likes it more when we are together. I think you'll like her, she's a very good mom. Vivi wandered away from the mirror, her hands hovering over shelves until she paused at a display of small broken trinkets waiting in a discount bin. There was a cracked porcelain doll headed a chipped teacup, and a wind-up toy missing its faceplate. Can I touch this? Be my guest, they are too damaged to sell anyway. If you find anything you like, you can just take it. She crouched down and gently lifted the doll head, tilting it this way and that. Then she picked up the broken toy and studied the round space where its face had once been. Her mismatched eyes lit up with some curious idea. With surprising deftness, she set the porcelain head against the toy's body, pressing the edges until they fit with a strange, uncanny snugness. The toy stared back at you with wide painted doll eyes, its small key clicking faintly when Vivi gave it a twist. The figure lurched forward with a stuttering hop. The borrowed face bobbing as if it belonged there all along. See, now they are both happier. The doll gets to move again and the toy isn't faceless anymore. It's better when broke things share their parts, then no one has to be alone. That's creative. I don't think I would have thought of that. They are both happier now, even if one is gone and the other is a bit wrong. I'm impressed, Vivi. Maybe I should hire you to fix all of our broken stuff. I could help, but Mom is done shopping, so I have to go. I can come back later if that's okay. I'll like that. Have a nice day, Vivi. And tell your mom I said hello. I will. She'll like you, I think. You both smell like home. Oh, that's a new one. She gave a small wave, then left the store. You stared down at the strange mismatched doll and wondered what it could possibly mean. Yeah, so having in count that the other one was 68, let's put like 25 on this one, maybe. Poor one though. Wouldn't it be like too much? I don't know. I don't want to sell things like in a really high price range kind of thing. I don't know. I think it's also, how to put it? I think it's also because we are talking in probably like dollars in here. And although I've been in the US, honestly, I remember that things were a bit more expensive than in here. But still, it wasn't like a huge difference, okay? So I'm trying to think about things in a way of more like how would they sell in here, especially like in a second-hand store. That's how I'm trying to think about it. But I do suppose that, for instance, for you, the people that are in America, you would probably put another type of price tag on it, because you have like the idea in there, and in there is probably a little bit more expensive, I would say. I don't know. I don't remember. What I remember is you having your wages being a lot more higher than us in here, because oh god, in here it's like horrible, you know? It's like your minimum wage is usually like $3,000, and for us it's like we are struggling to get even 1,000 euros as like a minimum wage in here. Yeah, so like, but then you're going to see between the euro and the dollar, and it's the difference is such a few things. No, you know, so it's like very despairing. It's a despairing kind of thing, you know, like, yeah. And I already told you, like, one of the things that I feel the most is games being priced at, for instance, $60, and then in here 60 euros, and I'm like, what are you doing? I mean, we do not gain in here, we do not gain in terms of wages the same thing you gain in America. So why is the price the same? You know, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, you have like a 10 of things like that. A 10 of things like that. You get seated behind the counter, ready for today's customers. So Queen, a fantastic day to you, Irina. The bell chimes and a customer comes inside. Welcome. I will leave without purchase, but not without inspiration. Okay, my friend. Until next time, may your day be seasoned with joy. Yeah, he was probably looking into something that, because, you know, you rearrange your day, your schedule in a certain way, and maybe he was expecting something that we didn't found because, you know, I put the schedule on another way. And it could be that. See you next time. The customer leaves the store. Bell chimes and customer comes inside. Again? Hi, not Granny Sylvie. Welcome. Christmas bells brooch. Looks like it has a sense of humor. I like it. I think I'll buy it for my mom. This girl, she has money. She's like my best customer. She has money. I have to get home to my mom. Bye. See you next time. The customer leaves the store. You saw 2 customers today, but no one else is coming now. So you had just stepped away from the counter to grab lunch when the door opened and Florian came waltzing in, covered once again with his sunglasses and bucket hat. Florian. Hey. How are you feeling? Did you get some sleep? The deep set bags under his eyes didn't look very promising. This is also like a very American thing, which like in Europe we do not have as much. And usually like when you come in here, you kind of feel it. Which is like we are not so much into this type of small talk kind of thing. We are not so much into like, hello, how are you feeling? For us, it's more like, hello, good morning, yeah, good morning, hello. And that's it. Because if you start with, how are you feeling? Then you're going to feel pressured to continue talking in there and having an interaction when you're like rushing to do something, you know. So in here is, you have it in some cases, but it's more like neighborhood or something like that. But what I felt when I was in the US is like, even with strangers, you'll be like, oh, hi, how are you feeling? Be like, what? Who are you? And then I start noticing this is like something that it's deeply ingrained inside of you, in your own culture, which is like this thing of constantly asking the other person how he, she, they are, you know. Yeah, you do have this quite a lot. The deep setbacks under his eyes didn't look very promising. I'm fine enough to work. Well, if you say so, but you should think about going to see a doctor or something if it continues. Didn't I tell you to stop worrying about me? Yeah, but no one said I had to listen. Good day, Sir Florian. Pray forgive my intrusion, but might I inquire about this peculiar contraption you have hanging from your pocket? I have never seen it like before. Lucille steps over from the side of the store, helmet under arm. She gestured towards a pair of headphones connected to Florian's phone, which was half hanging out of his pocket. It's a pair of headphones. Headphones, a peculiar name. I have heard of phone owing to Lady Sylvie, but not these headphones. They are tiny mini phones that you put into your ears and they put the screen in your brain. Winnie popped up from out of nowhere, grinning at Lucille. Is that so? What? No, she's bullshitting you. They are just little speakers. You have to be careful or the tiny phones will invade your ears and take over your mind. That is quite terrifying, Lady Winona. I believe I will keep my distance from these headphones. I'm telling you, she's lying. Look, you listen to music through them. Florian held the headphones out to Lucille, who raised a hand. My warmest thanks, but I believe it best to let my ears remain free of such intrusions. Why do you never listen to me? She's playing a trick on you. I do not believe Lady Winona would lead me astray. And I would? I could get into the joking thing. Okay, they are really just for listening to music because I like her. I don't want to scare her. I like her. Winnie's messing with you, really. They're just for listening to music. You might like them. Thank you, Irina, but if that is truly the case, there is plenty of music to hear without using technology I do not understand. The singing of birds, the rustling of leaves, I believe I will make do for now. Man, I'm too tired for this shit. Perhaps a caffeinated beverage would be of assistance, Sir Florian? I should go fetch you one. Irina? What about a hot chocolate? Actually, could you get me a cold drink? I usually do not drink cold drinks in the morning unless it's like really hot, and apparently we are in the autumn season or something, or beginning of winter, I don't know. So this would never happen with me. I am not a big fan of hot chocolate. So yeah, coffee would be great. There will be no problem, Lady Winona. I apologize that I cannot offer you a beverage too. It's okay, Lucy. I'll just enjoy it from afar. You really don't need to. I shall be back post haste. At that, Lucille left out the front door, a spring in her step. I'm gonna keep practicing. Bye bye, lazy bones. Winnie floated back up and through the ceiling. You weren't sure you'll ever get used to that. Seriously though, are you doing alright? It's just some personal shit. It has nothing to do with work. Alright, but don't overwork yourself too much, yeah? Actually, I'm glad we have a second alone. I wanted to talk to you. Why? I guess you're kind of the person I know best in town. Why? I'm not the kind of person that people confide in. I disagree. You are really easy to talk to. What is it? I found something. Congratulations. Would you prefer a ribbon or a medal? Is both an option? No. Damn, you got me all excited for no reason. But seriously, I woke up in the middle of the night and there was a tornado in my room. Right, a tornado in your room. You're not taking me seriously right now. No shit. You're telling me there was a tornado in your room? Okay, listen. Not a tornado exactly, but a lot of wind and leaves, and they were swirling around me. And they led me to a book I can't read, but that doesn't matter right now. As soon as I touched it, it all disappeared. What's going on here? Are you an idiot or something? Whoa, where's that coming from? And yes, probably. I told you this town is full of all kinds of people. That includes your aunt. There's probably a reason she wanted you to come take over. She always has her reasons. She just never actually tells anyone about them. I think she gets off on leaving people confused. It's just a week ago, if you told me that ghosts and time-traveling nights and magic books existed, I would call you crazy. Now I'm just meant to accept all of that? I don't know, you're doing a pretty good job of it. Am I? Do you like Winnie and Lucille? Of course, they are both great. So who cares if they are a little different? And what about me? Maybe you're a little different too. Does it matter? Well, no, but it's just kind of tossing everything I thought I knew to the wind. Yeah, well, that's life. One day you are a normal person doing normal shit, and the next everything's turned upside down without your permission. I'm speaking from experience there? I don't know what you're talking about. If you say so. Anyway, thanks, Florian. I guess I just have to be open-minded. I mean, I can just not believe any of it's true, seeing as the evidence is right in front of my eyes. Can't wish away fighting off a tornado in your bedroom. It wasn't like that. My apologies for the wait, my friends. What wait? You were gone for all of 5 minutes. A midday jog helps me clear my mind. Please enjoy. She placed down a small tray on the counter with 3 drinks carefully tucked into it. You quickly took yours, glad for it, and Lucille picked up something floral smelling. Once again, the coffee thing. Getting the coffee from somewhere else. Yeah, I mean, unless from the supermarket. I'm not seeing in here where you would just get like cups of coffee. Well, yeah, maybe Starbucks. And that's it. Yeah. What have you... I know in America it's completely different, yes, because you walk with your cups of coffee everywhere. Yes, I know. What have you got there? The shopkeep called it a whiteberry forest tea. I will admit I have not yet tried such a thing, but I tend to keep away from coffee. I said you didn't have to get me anything. It would be unbecoming of an eye to offer a drink to Irina and not to you, Sir Florian, please. Well, can he drink other thing than, I don't know, blood, you know? I'm not thirsty. Truly, then I apologize. I did not mean to make you uncomfortable. It's not... With a grumble, Florian picked up his drink. It smelled like strong, dark, rich coffee. There, are you happy now? I've got work to do. With that, he took off, coffee in hand. Is he always so pleasant? If by pleasant you mean acts as if some knave had defiled his morning gruel, then yes, Sir Florian has been rather somber from the moment we met, some months ago now. Well, I guess even Grumpy is charming on its own way. I'm sure he has his reasons. That is true, if I were to speak my mind. I would say he holds little belief in himself. Unfortunately, though, I do not know the circumstances that have led him to think like that. Regardless, under his solemn exterior, he is full of kindness. Yeah, she is too. Honestly, everyone here is great. Let's do a little bit of him. He has been kind to me. Yeah, a little bit of him. I'm with you there. He might roll his eyes or grumble a little, but he's always stopped to help me when I need. Now that is enough idle rest. I must take my watch and secure the perimeter of this establishment. Wait, you've barely had a break. You were running an errand. Though my respite was brief, the call of duty is constant. I would not delay in safeguarding you and this store. Lucille bowed low to you before leaving out the front door once again. Well, back to work, I guess. You were sweeping the floors of the store when you noticed something strange out of the corner of your eye. What looks like a shadow moving across the floor. At first you ignored it and continued sweeping until the shadow moved again, closer this time, and your head snapped to the side, searching for the source. Nothing. Weird? You continue as you were, careful not to knock any of your aunt's countless antiques and knickknacks out of place. Keep cleaning. Okay, 8. You finished sweeping and moved into the organizing the tables. Dusting so many antiques was quite honestly a hellish task, but yeah, like I would die in here because I hate dusting. But at least it gave you something to do. As you finished, you noticed something. Your gold plate bracelet, was it always this shiny and new looking? You swear it was worse for wear when you put it out this morning. Well, maybe you were misremembering. Increase to normal, okay. Level up. So let's put like luck for being in the right place at the right time. Luck. Let's go into the smarts one. Yeah, why not? Okay, cleaning less increased. Yeah, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe when I only have like the cleaningness, at like 50%, maybe that's when I probably really need to start cleaning. And it wasn't, it was probably like 80% still. So maybe in here you kind of manage in that way, like when you have like 50%, maybe you should start cleaning. I don't know. Kind of like thinking if it might be like that. I was not looking into there, you know, I just should have. I was not thinking about that, you know. It's a little past 5 p.m. and you're sweeping a few stray leaves from the floor when the door is pushed open once again. And then 5 more leaves join you, awaiting their inevitable sweeping. Greetings, Sir Emmett. Oh, Emmett is here. You have arrived at a most fortuitous time. Sir Florian and I were just debating over whether Irina would neglect to pay the bills or not this week. You're not supposed to tell anyone that. It was just between us. Do I look that forgetful? Do you want me to answer that honestly? Now I'm not sure. Emmett adjusted his glasses, pushing them up from the center with his fingertips. I wonder what he is, because Florian is a vampire. What is this guy? I don't know. No bills will go unpaid while I'm still contracted. What's that supposed to mean? Everything would fall apart if I fired you? I didn't say that, but you're free to assume what you will. Careful, if you speak to me so nicely, people will think you actually enjoy my company. My apologies, we wouldn't want that, would we? Now I'll set up my computer at the counter and we can go through your books together. I did bring my own laptop if that'll make things easier. It would stop me having to come and assist you every week, yes, Miss Marigold. But I want you to still come back every week and assist me, dude. Yes, you look nice. Miss Marigold never did have any interest in technology. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I would miss out on hanging with you. Perish the thought. I would be happy to show you how to digitalize your accounting yourself, and then there would be no need for me to come here every week. You would save money and I would save time. That sounds like a win-win to me, from business owner to business owner. But I don't want that conversation. I want you to still come back here. But what about your wonderful company? It could be used on another client, I assure you. No? Fine, it's upstairs. Should I bring it down? Upstairs is adequate. A quieter location might be a good idea. Hammett looked sideways to where Florian and Winnie were currently discussing a new a new movie that had just been released, and then towards Lucille, who was sharpening her sword. Probably a good idea. The two of you headed upstairs and into your apartment. Home sweet home. Can I get you something to drink? A coffee would be fantastic, thank you. You crouched down to look in the back of your aunt's cupboard. There were around a dozen different kinds of tea in beautiful little embossed tins with handwriting labels. Your aunt's handwriting? It sure looked like it. Pushing those aside, you found what looked like a 20-year-old container of instant coffee. Fair warning, I think this coffee is older than I am. Would you expect anything less from the owner of an antique store? Touché. I'm just saying, if you get poisoned, please don't sue me. All I have to pay you with is buttons and pocket links. I can't say a client has tried to pay me with pocket lint before, but I've been known to accept buttons on occasion. You peered up at him. He'll sit down at your kitchen table at some point, scrutinizing his face. Seriously? No, why would I accept buttons? It was a joke. Wow, it's actually kind of impressive how you can keep a complete straight face while joking. I thought maybe you worked with a button factory. I do, but they pay me by direct deposit. You do? No, there's no button factories anywhere near Willowmist. Alright, wise guy, how am I meant to know when you're joking, huh? You stood up, quickly pouring both Emmett and yourself a cup of maybe, perhaps, kinda out-of-date instant coffee. Here's hoping it's still drinkable. You handed him the cup and placed your own down at the spot beside his, then collected your laptop. which was still open to Winnie's idol page. A fan of idols? I used to be an idol. I used to be an idol. This is for Winnie. Nah, or I guess kinda. This is actually for Winnie. You can see Winnie, right? Just double checking that she's not some elaborate prank. Yes, I know her offhandedly. And she's see-through, right? As far as I'm aware, Miss Winona is a ghost. You don't sound awfully concerned by that. There are scarier things in life than ghosts. Like audits. Wow, that ought to come with a warning. You're making me shiver. Putting aside the non-work talk, please navigate to this website and download the software. I will give you a license to use it under my business. Emmett pulled out his own laptop, then showed you the download page for some piece of accounting software, which you promptly downloaded. I think when she feels like he's not answering her in a certain way, that gets them closer, she always has like this depressive look on her face. It's kind of funny. Have you ever used a program like this before? What if I said I had? I would inquire whether you were lying or not. Well, she kind of said she never did nothing in terms of accounting. So it would feel like weird and she would probably be lying. Okay, I haven't really. I'm new to all of this. Any guidance you can give me is appreciated. Not to worry, is rather beginner friendly and your aunt's business is quite simple. It's all cash in and cash out. I would suggest continuing to use the book downstairs for keeping track of sales, as Miss Marigold will find it more comfortable when she returns, but once a week you can copy the numbers in here. He leaned over slightly, pointing towards the screen. Miss Marigold chooses to pay off her bills weekly. I had suggested monthly or even 2 weeks, but she was adamant about it. These bills will cover water, power, the usual. Payment for your employees is already paid directly out of your aunt's account, so there is no need to worry about that. That saves me a bit of effort. Just make sure to put some time aside every weekend for paying bills. Got it, my weekends are about to go crazy. So I just click here to find my bills? No, over here. He leaned over again and you couldn't help but notice the scent of his cologne. It was almost floral. In fact, if you had to pinpoint the way it smelled, maybe sparkly? Distracted, your hand brushed against his, and for a split second, time seemed to pause. Hammett quickly put his hand back and cleared his throat before continuing on like nothing happened. Yes, just there. Click on this tab and it will show you an overview of your pending payments for the week. Ah, right. I got it. Thanks, Emmett. From here on it should be straightforward. However, since it's your first time, I'll stick around and assist you with filling in some sales data from the book downstairs. Really, that's awfully kind of you. At that, he let out a rare laugh. I'm paid by the hour, Irina. I wouldn't call it kindness. Oh, I see. Looking to fill up your bank account, huh? That's the point of running a business, yes. I appreciate the help nonetheless, even if it comes from a selfish place. Want another coffee before we start, Numbers Boy? Numbers Boy. You like numbers, don't you? Yes, I suppose so. And no, one of those coffees was enough to last me a lifetime, thank you. If I never have to drink another, it will still be too soon. Okay, I'll grab the book then. Feel free to make yourself comfortable. You headed back downstairs, then spent the next several hours going through the handwritten records your aunt left, plus your recent additions, not auditions. Fortunately, just as Hammett said, it was a rather simple task, just very time consuming.